Hello friends, welcome to the course Essentials of Data Science with R Software 1, in which we are trying to understand the basic topics of probability theory and statistical inference. But in this lecture, we are going to understand the basic operation of the R software. As I discussed in the last two lectures, that I would like to give you some basic idea or the basic operations of the R software, which are going to help you in learning of the further lectures. So with that objective, in the last lecture I have given you a brief introduction to the R Studio, and in this lecture I will try to give you a quick review of the basic mathematical operations in R. You know that in R you can use this R just like a calculator, means how to do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division type of basic operation. How are you going to do it and how they are going to help you? That is my very modest objective in this lecture. Although I know that most of you know about it, but it's not a bad option to have a quick review of those things. Right, so let us begin our lecture, and I will try to show you here on the slides, and I will be showing you the same operation on the R console also, so that you feel more confident about it. So let us begin our lecture. So, and in this lecture we are simply going to learn about the basic calculations and using this R software as a calculator. So now we know that this symbol, this greater than symbol on the R console at the command line is the prompt sign, that we know. And the assignment operator in the R software is equality sign or less than dash. So essentially there are two assignment operators. One is like this, less than and hyphen, and second is the same as equality sign. So actually means that you know that when this R started, at that time people were trying to develop it on the same lines as the software S plus, and in S plus software the assignment operator was like this one, less than hyphen sign. So when R started, people started with the same assignment operator in R software also, and later on they changed it to the equality sign, which was a more popular assignment operator among all the programmers and software. So now as of today, both these operators are available in the R software, and either you try to write down here x less than hyphen 20, or if you try to write down here x equal to 20, both are going to do the same thing, that they are going to assign the value 20 to x, right. But here I would like to tell you one thing, that inside the slides sometime you will see the sign less than hyphen and sometime you will see the sign equality. The reason for this is that well, I am now much older to you, to most of you, and when I was a student at that time, the computers started coming to India, and I am the one who has witnessed the growth and development of computers in India and different types of softwares. So all this S plus, R, Windows, MS Word, Excel, etc., all these softwares, they came means after I completed my PhD, or when I was just going to complete my PhD. Right, and this is almost now 25 years since I completed my PhD. So I have seen the change and growth of this softwares and statistical software. So when I started learning this S plus software, then I was using the same assignment operator, less than hyphen. And when this R came, then I started learning the R software also. So once again, because the only available operator was less than hyphen, so I was using the same thing. And now couple of years back, this R version got updated and they incorporated both the assignment operator, less than hyphen sign and equality sign. So now I have used and practiced with this less than hyphen sign for a large number of years. For many years I have used this symbol. So now I have changed myself to using this equality sign, but sometime because of habit, old habits die hard, so this operator also comes. Well, I hope you won't mind even if I am writing the less than hyphen sign or equality sign, but surely I promise you I will try to improve myself. Right, okay, so let us come back to our slides. So, okay, so now in case if you try to do the same thing in the R console also, you will get here this type of outcome, and these are the screenshots. So, I will try to show you it on the R console also, but before that, in this R software, it is possible to assign the numericals, the numbers to a variable, as well as a variable can be assigned to another variable. For example, if I say x equal to 20, so this command is going to assign the value 20 to x, and if I write down here another variable y is equal to 3 star x, so that is 3 multiplied by x. So this is going to assign the value 3 into x to new variable y. So you can see here this part 3 into x, that is also a variable because it depends on the value of x. In case if x equal to 20 is changed to x equal to 30, then y will change from 60 to 90. So this part is variable and then y is also here variable. So now I am trying to assign a variable to another variable, and similarly if I try to define here a new variable x minus y, then this z is equal to x minus y is going to assign the value x minus y to z. So once again both are variable, and these are here the screenshots. So before I try to move to the next slide, let me try to show you these things on the R console here. So you can see here if I try to say here x type x equal to 100. So you can see here this is here x equal to 100, and in case if I try to use here another command here x less than hyphen, or if I try to assign here 200 x equal to 200, then now you can see here the value of x has become 200. So both these operators are working. And similarly if I try to define here one more variable here y is equal to 3 into here x, then this is going to be here 3 into x, which is 3 into 200, and the value of y if you want to see, you simply have to press here y and press enter. This will give you the value 600 because 3 into 200 is 600. And similarly if you want to define here a new variable z is equal to x minus y, so you can see here this will come out to be 200 minus 600, which is minus 400. Right. So this is how the things are going to work. Right. Okay. So now one thing what you have to understand here, that up to now I have assigned only one value to a variable, but if there are more values that you assign to a variable, then you always have to use the command here c. C means combine. Right. So in case if you just write here x 1 2 3 4, this may not work, but in case if you write down here x and 1 2 3 4 with here command c 1 2 3 4, inside the parenthesis you have to write all the number separated by the comma, then the R command will understand that the values inside the variable x, there are 4 values 1 2 3 and 4. Right. Okay. And similarly in case if you want to write a syntax or a command inside your programming language which you want that R should not execute it, or in simple words you want to comment a command, then the character here is the command here is hash sign. Means if you write this hash sign before the beginning of a command, then all the commands in that line they will be commented, and whatever is written after this hash sign, that will be ignored by the R software. For example, if I want to write down here mu is the mean, so I will write down here hash mu is the mean, and it will not be executed, it will remain as such. And similarly, if I try to write down here hash x equal to 20, then this will not be executed, but it will be treated only as a comment, right. So, before I go further, let me try to show you. Now, if you try to come back to your here R console, and suppose if I want to write down here say here some new variable here, say z1 is equal to say here 1 2 3 4. You can see here this is going to give you an error, but in case if you try to write down here z1 is equal to c 1 2 3 4. Now, it will be here like this, there is no error, and you can see the value of here z1 as say 1 2 3 4. One thing what you have to remember here, that once you are writing such mathematical commands, then there is no value of this blank space. Even I can write down here like this, right, and you can see here that I try to write down here z is equal to 10 20 30 and 40, and if I try to execute it, there is no problem, and still the value of z1 is now changed to 10 20 30 40, right. So, this blank space does not make as long as you are trying to do the mathematical operations. When you are trying to do some comment or you want to print something, then this will make a difference. So, we are talking only of here mathematical operations. Now, suppose I want to clear this screen, I have to just press Ctrl N. So, I press Ctrl and I now click on the L. So, it will clear my screen. Now, in case if you try to see here, if I try to give here x equal to say 1000, it will be value here 1000. But in case if I try to write down here hash and x equal to suppose here 2000, you can see here nothing is happening, but the value of x will remain as 1000, because this hash symbol has informed the R that you do not have to execute whatever is written after this, right. So, that has worked. So, similarly, if I want to write down, suppose if I want to write down here mu is the mean, and if you try to just type it here, it will give you that there is an error. But in case if you try to write down here hash and then mu is the mean, there is no issue, right. So, I hope these things are clear, although I know that you are familiar with these things, but I thought that I must inform you. Now, this R is the case sensitive. There is a difference between small letter alphabets and capital letter alphabets, or say lowercase and uppercase alphabets in English. For example, if I try to write down here capital X equal to 20 and small x equal to 20, then these two are different things, right. For example, if you try to see here on this screenshot, I am trying to give here a small x equal to 20, and it is giving me the value of here 20, but there is no capital X. So, as soon as I try to see the value of capital X, it is trying to give us that object X is not found. But if I try to give here capital X equal to 20, and then if I try to see here capital X, then it will give me here the value 10, and this small x will give me the value here 20, right. So, this should not create any problem for you, but let me try to show you this on the R console also, right. So, right, suppose if I say here, so now first let me try to remove my here x, so that there is no issue, that there is no x. Now, you can see here there is no x here, and I try to clear my screen by pressing Ctrl N. Now, I am trying to say here capital say x and small x I want to use. So, suppose I say here small x is equal to suppose here 100. Now, you can see here this is here a small x. Now, I try to type here capital X and try to see here this value. You can see here this capital X is coming out to be 1000. Do you know why? From where this capital X is coming out? Because earlier I had possibly used this variable capital X, and that was already available in the R software, So, that is what I told you in the earlier lecture also, that whenever you are trying to start a new program, the first job is to remove all the variable name which you want to use. So, first I should actually do here, say remove rm small x as well as capital X. Now, I can do whatever I want. So, if I try to say here x equal to, suppose here now I take here 200. So, you can see here this is my here small x. But in case if I try to find out here the value of capital X, you can see here this is not found. But in case if I try to say here capital X equal to 500, you can see here now the value of capital X is coming out to be 500. So, once again we come back to our slides, and now let me try to show you some basic operations. Right. So, in case if you want to do addition of two numbers in the R console, then the usual sign is the plus sign. So, if I want to add here 6 and 4, I simply have to write down here 6 plus 4, which is equal to here 10. And you can see here this is the screenshot, and here you can see here I am writing here this hash command. So, it is not executed because it is because whatever is written after the hash sign, that will not be executed. And similarly, if you want to do the multiplication of two numbers, that will be here 6 into 4. So, the multiplication sign is a star sign like this one. Right. So, this will give you the multiplication of two numbers, and similarly if you want to subtract two numbers, the sign here is the usual sign subtraction, that is hyphen, but you have to be careful when you are trying to do this course. Suppose you are trying to copy a command from the PDF file of this course, then you have to be a little bit careful. I have prepared those slides in the PowerPoint, and one thing happens in PowerPoint that when I am trying to type this sign minus sign, and as soon as I move forward, the sign of this subtraction sign becomes bigger. It will become like this. Yeah, that looks more beautiful, but then it is not really a mathematical subtraction sign. So, sometime when you are trying to copy and paste the command from the PDF file and trying to execute it on the R console, it may give you some error. So, in those cases try to be careful that one possibility is that that the minus sign which is looking or appearing as minus sign to you, it is not actually a minus sign, but it is some other symbol which the software has converted automatically to something else. So, my suggestion will be that in order to solve the problem, simply try to type the command say minus inside the R console. So, that will help you. So, the moral of the story is that the subtraction sign is only here this subtraction sign usual, and if you want to divide two numbers, the division symbol is backslash. So, if you want to divide 6 by 4, you simply have to write down here 6 backslash 4, and the answer will come out to be 1.5, and this is the screenshot. That is pretty simple, it is not a very difficult thing. And similarly, if you want to use the power operator, like as if you want to write down here 2 raised to the power of 3, that is 2 cube, then you can write this thing in two possible ways. One option is this: you try to write down 2 hat 3, and hat is a symbol that is available on your keyboard, or you try to write down here 2 and 2 stars that you have to make here, double stars and 3. So, both are going to give you the same outcome. So, that is up to you, whatever you want to choose. Right. So, if you try to say here 2 cubes, so you have to simply write here 2 cube 3, and you have to write here 2 hat 3, which is equal to here 8, or the same thing you can write down here 2 star star 3, and this will also give you here the value 8, and these are the screenshots here. So, these are not very difficult things for you to understand. And similarly, if you want to write down or you want to find out the square root, suppose I want to find out the square root of 2. So, that we know from the mathematical tool this is going to be 2 raised to the power of 1 upon 2, which is 2 raised to the power of 0.5. So, this I can write down here 2 hat 0.5, or I can also write down here 2 double star 0.5. So, whatever you want you can do it. So, the power operators also work when the powers are in the form of some fractions also. That is what I wanted to convey you. Right. So, okay. So, both these things are possible. So, This is how you can find out the square root of 2. This is 1.73, or 2 double star 0.5 will also give you the value of square root of 2. That is not difficult, I know it. And similarly, if you want to know the value of 1 upon square root of 2, then this is actually 2 raised power of minus 1 upon 2, which is equal to 2 raised power of minus 0.5. And so this I can write down here 2 hat minus 0.5. Well, this is possible, right, where here there is minus sign is along with the hat sign. Or you can also write down here, say here 2 double star, say here minus 0.5. Those things are possible, and this will give you the value of 0.577. Well, it's not difficult. And beside those things, all other mathematical operation which are the BODMAS rule, that is the brackets of division, multiplication, addition and subtraction, whatever you have learned in your elementary classes in arithmetic, they will also be valid. That if you try to write down the combination of the numbers with different mathematical operators, they are going to be solved following the rule of BODMAS. So, if I try to write down here 5 plus 6 minus 7 into 2 plus 3 divided by 4, this will be solved using the rule of BODMAS, and it will give you the value here minus 2.25. So, these are the screenshot here, but just for the sake of completeness and confidence, I will try to show you these operations on the R console also. So, first let me try to clear the screen by Control L, and then suppose if I say here I want to find out here 2 plus 3, you can see here this is simply 2 plus 3, and if I want to do the subtraction 2 minus 3, this is 2 minus 3, which is minus 1, and if I want to find out here 2 cube, so this is coming out to be here 8, and the same thing I can find out by writing 2 double star 3, which is here you can see here 8. And if I want to find out here 1 upon 2 cube, so this I can write down here 2 hat minus 3, and you can see here this is 0.125. You know that 1 upon 8 is 0.125, and the same thing I can write down by typing here 2 double star minus 3. You can see here this is 0.125. And similarly, if you want to multiply two numbers, suppose I want to multiply here 4 into 6, that means I want to multiply 4 and 6, this is 4 into 6, that is 24. And if I want to divide 6 by 4, so this will be 6 backslash 4, this is here 1.5. Right. And similarly, if you want to use any BODMAS rule, 4 plus 7 minus 3 into 9 divided by, see here 4. I mean, these things can be there. And similarly, the brackets are also there, but when you are trying to use the bracket, the brackets are only the simple parentheses are allowed. The curly bracket and square bracket are not allowed for the mathematical operation. For example, if I want to write down here 4 plus, say here bracket 9 minus 4, right, into 6 divided by here 8. So, first the brackets are going to be solved, and the answer is going to be like this. And if you try to remove here the bracket sign and then try to see the outcome, this is going to be different, right. So, that is the whatever are the rules that you have learned in your elementary classes in arithmetic, they are going to be valid. Okay, so now we come to an end to this lecture. So, in this very elementary lecture, I have given you a quick and refreshing ideas or the basic information about the mathematical operator, that how can you do the addition, division, multiplication, subtraction, etc. These are very simple things, but this is the information which I will be needing when I am coming to my classes or my lectures on statistics. So, I would request you that you try to practice them, and in the next lecture I will try to give you a quick review of the simple operations, simple mathematical operation which are based on the vectors, data vectors. So, you try to practice it, and I will see you in the next lecture once again. Till then, goodbye.